So what is up, guys? It is me, Kamo Games HD, bringing us a brand new video. Now, we've all heard of Destiny. We know what it is. It's an amazing game for me personally, but it's a lot of things that disappoint me in a kind of what they could have done type of thing. It's really bare bones. You have to kind of make your own fun. You have to make friends. You have to go out there and have a fun time. The game doesn't give it to you, but I feel like after watching this guy beat up his videos for some time now, he's kind of made to the point where the game is something totally different. And with rumors that the second game's coming out in like 2016 because they have this whole 10-year plan and everything going on with Activision, that Bungie's going to kind of improve what they made mistakes on. And I kind of believe they're going to improve their mistakes because a lot of people were very vocal. Of course, I'm one of those suckers that bought the game even after the reviews and everything, and all those people saying it's kind of like not really what they expected. But I really believe in Bungie, and I'm kind of happy that they released this game because now we know what to tell them to put in this next game. But the whole thing is the whole DLC trouble that I'm trying to comprehend in my mind. Now, this is a wish list. I mean, not going forever, but this is a wish list for Destiny 2, and what I want to see in it is going to be the top 5 things I really want to see, because I feel that they just do not understand what we want, and that we need to tell them now. And it just can't be one person telling them these things. It has to be the whole community. It has to be the whole gaming area as a whole, just a group as a whole, to tell them this is what we want. This is how you make a perfect game. And Destiny has the potential to become a perfect game, and it's on consoles too. That's the crazy part, is that it can definitely learn from other games and learn from its mistakes and become that game it should have been. So let's get into this list, the top 5 things I need to see in Destiny 2. Let's go. So starting from the ass up, we're going to start with number 5, and that is the open world. Now, the open world is simply the most beefiest thing that a game needs if it's an open world game, or it has a story. And the world in Destiny is barren, it's shitty, it has no type of direction. The only thing I can really say that I love about Destiny is the art style, and the art style is fantastic. The whole vistas you see, like you start from, let's say, where you spawn at, and you just look around you and you just being amazed by how amazing the game looks. But then you start playing into the open world and you find out that the game is so barren with content. There's only patrols, there's no type of NPC interaction. There's just nothing there to make the game feel very much alive. It feels like it's just, you're just driving around. They could have made the game ugly as shit. Like, might as well, if you want to just add no story. My intentions is to say this: if they can try and take the story of The Witcher and throw it together in Destiny, that would be amazing. If they can kind of create a world like a Witcher, just some kind of interaction, because I feel this game cares to nuke so much that it's no danger in the game. There should be PvP open worlds. There should be worlds where I feel like, oh my god, not only do I have to worry about the enemies, but I have to worry about other players and interacting with them and other fire squads, and I should always have a fire squad with me when I'm traveling the PvP open world. There should be some sort of world where I can go into and I can just have fun with. I can steal other people's loot. I can find loot. I can find stuff that they can't find. I can travel deep into the earth or whatever, not earth, but the planet, and go areas they can't because I'm a higher level and they will just get torn up. I feel like there should be some type of enemy leveling up system with you. Once you reach level 25, let's just say this, like for example, you probably can be level 20 to be honest, and you still defeat the enemies like that. And there's just no type of danger after you finish the game, if you do finish the game, because there is barely no fucking story, and you do not have to finish the game at all to actually level up, which is another problem that I actually kind of have, is that they kind of don't put emphasis on the story mostly, and that it feels kind of wasted and drawn out and just boring. I don't know why they did not add a story. I don't know who let that game leave the shelf, and that comes back to the content thing, but I'm not going to talk about that. But my overall for number 5 would have to be just create deeper open world, add more NPCs, add better quest lines. The patrols are shit. Add things that will make the player want to come back to that certain planet and have fun there, or add some type of PvP open world. If you're not going to do that, it might as well just add PvP in both, multiplayer and story mode. And that's really about it for number 5. So let's go up the train and let's get to number 4. So let's get it. So for number 4, it will have to be a better loot system. Now, every game has some sort of loot system, or they have some way of rewarding a player. But in Destiny, that's the complete opposite. The more work you put in, most likely you're not going to have a better loot or better equipment. I have put over 100 hours into the game, and I feel like I haven't been truly rewarded just yet, unless I do the raid, which I tried last night, but that was a bust, which is kind of funny. I'm not even going to that. You guys probably can check out my live stream. Going off subject, sorry about that, guys. But I feel like the loot system should be much more easily handled, as the game starts to notice that you're playing in more hours, and most likely you're going to get a legendary engram. Out of my whole time playing this game, I only had 2 legendary engrams out of 100 hours. So that can kind of give you guys an idea of what the fuck is going on. Now, a lot of people are probably saying, oh, why don't you loot farm? Well, I don't want to loot farm. That's a fucking waste of time for me personally. And then people are going to say, well, that's not why you're not getting any legendaries, because you don't loot farm. Well, that's not fucking fair. You guys are just shooting at a fucking cave or whatever for a long amount of hours, putting hours into some bullshit, and you're getting stuff that you should really be working towards, not doing the same thing. I can understand if you're running the Crucible, 100 times a day, or you're running, the raids 100 times a day. You guys will actually be getting shit that I shouldn't be getting because you guys put in more work. And I feel the game doesn't have that type of system in place to treat those players who've been putting in the most work. And I feel that's where the game's really failing at, and that's where it's kind of losing my grip on how much I'm loving Destiny right now, is because I don't feel like I'm getting rewarded. After 100 hours, I finally got my first exotic bounty, and I've yet to complete it because I'm just like, what's the point? What is the point just to have this weapon that I work towards 100 hours? So you're saying I have to put in 500 hours to get the rest of the exotic bounties? That doesn't make sense to me personally. I just don't like it. I just don't see the need for that. It doesn't seem like there's any kind of prerequisite, I can't say the word for some reason, but it doesn't seem like there's any requirements. They just give it to you at random. It doesn't say, hey, he's put in 500 hours, he should have mostly everything there. Games like Diablo and Skyrim and Borderlands, they give you loot so much that you can't even carry half of it. Most of the time I can dispose of it. I barely have any loot on me, and there's nothing to really show for all the hours I put in. If we were playing, I don't know, Diablo, and you see a player with a crazy ass sword, or he's much stronger than you, he's put in dumb amount of hours. But if I see somebody who's like a level 24, I'm level 27, and he has more equipment and better stuff than me, I'm gonna be like, where the fuck is the common sense in that? So that's about it for number 4. They need to add a better loot system, because the loot system is freaking retarded as of right now. I just feel they were not trying hard enough to make it a much better loot system. And then the crucibles and everything, it just does not make sense to me. So let's get into number 3, because that shit is retarded. So we knew this bitch was coming, and this is number 3. No story. We need a better story. I mean, even if they have to make us and can feed us some type of story or some streamlined story, I want to see a story. Now, I heard a lot of these people talking about going to Grimoires, go on Bungie.net, read the Grimoires. They're going to tell you a whole bunch of shit. But for me personally, I'm not going to get off my game just to go on the computer and freaking read this shit. I don't feel like there's any need for that. I'd probably go on the Wikipedia or the wiki for Destiny and read them if I have the time, or I'm not, playing the game at the moment. But outside of that, I feel like there was no depth to the characters, no story. We need better characters. All the characters we interact with are boring. The speaker, the stranger, the ghost. Those are the only fucking characters we interact fucking with. That is not excusable. 3 freaking characters out of the whole game. 3, and okay, let's just say the queen and her brother, but those characters were fucking bearing the shit. Bitch talked in third person. The brother was an asshole. Let's leave it at that with them 2. Now, everybody else was boring. We only probably had about 6 cutscenes out of the whole game. The queen probably had 3 of those, and the ghost probably had 2, and the speaker probably only had 2. Now, my main problem with this game is the fact that there is no story. The whole, story mode and the missions that take place in this, in this quote-unquote story is actually, it doesn't make sense. Like, for one reason, I was going from, getting a warp drive to almost going to freaking, Mars, just to recharge a freaking eye. It did not make sense to what I was trying to understand. There was no understanding in the story. They did not streamline it good enough, and you have to go off the fucking game just to read background stories and shit for the characters, and it was leaked documents from an actual playtester who played the game a year earlier and said the story was 100% different. The brother, the queen's brother, was actually this guy named the Crow or whatever, and he was actually trying to help you destroy the Traveler, because the Traveler's actually, what do you call it, the darkness. There was no explanation for none of these characters unless you read the back of the story or you really dug in before the game came out on the story. There was basically no story in it at all. I feel like they just ripped out everything. Like, how do you do that? Like, there had to be some huge changes between September of 2013 up until September of 2014. There had to be some huge, gigantic, changes that just changed the game all around. It did not freaking make sense. And that's really about it. I just want a better story. I just want better characters. I just need to see some type of actual work go into this game and not just throw us some bullshit story. Because I think this is the worst story I've ever played in video games. I'm not bullshitting you guys. At least games have a story, even if they have horrible dialogue, horrible direction, horrible graphics. At least they have a story that's actually okay to watch. I just couldn't handle it. I just couldn't handle it. So that's about it for number 3. Let's get into number 2. We're nearly there to number 1 because number 1 is going to probably make you guys laugh. So let's get into it. So number 2 is definitely something I really just feel that Destiny could have fixed easily or just put in the game easily, or it's just the cost of greed that really stopped them from putting this actual features in it. I was about to say feature, but it's actual more than just one. And that is social interaction and social hubs. Now, let's start with social interaction. I would have liked to be able to trade with my team, my teammates, probably start up some type of clan bank or something, or clan loot system where we can put stuff we don't really need, so whoever joins the clan, they can actually get into it and they can actually take that out if they wanted to, or we can do some sort of trading or gambling or some kind of racing. I just wish there was more social interactions, as in the player can actually do more things besides just shoot generic enemies the whole time. I kind of wish that we had a system where we could kind of host parties or something for completing this crazy ass raid, and that the raid was insanely epic, and we just finished it and we were kind of like the first people to do it. We can set up this crazy party, we can invite hundreds of different players and stuff, because Destiny can handle it. It's just the fact that they don't want to do it, which kind of pisses me off about that whole fact. And you can throw parties at your house and all that, and it's just really simple stuff that other multiplayer games like GTA Online did perfectly, but yet, Grand Theft Auto, even though it wasn't amazing or yet complete multiplayer, it still had the MMO features in there to where it made it fun and made it last for so long, and people still play it to this day. And even though it's a year later and it's not that great, people love it because it did something right, and that is create a better social interaction. Now I feel Destiny's going to die out quicker because of that social interaction that they are lacking. Now, onto the social hubs. I feel that if I wanted to, or if the game allowed you to buy property or do whatever what you want, like just go to an apartment, buy the apartment, and start leveling that apartment up. It's just nothing but a bed and a drippy leak pipe or something, busted pipe, and it's just you and that leak pipe in that bed. And then you can start leveling up your apartment, move up into a better apartment, start building up all the way up until the top, and you actually have some sense of accomplishment, like most people should have if you have life goals in real life, of course. And you should have that accomplishment in the game where you're just like, wow, I started from all the way from the bottom, now I'm here. Literally, Drake just started from the bottom, now you're there. And I feel if they add that type of feature into the game, and you can have parties at your place, you can, watch old 21st century movies and stuff, because there are so many ghosts around the game. And I feel that if you can have data on each one, you can find a different movie on each single ghost, not even a full movie, probably I don't know, just something to make it fun. Like GTA has a whole TV station. They have dedicated TV stations you can watch for hours and have a laugh if that's your type of thing, if you want to watch a game inside the game. But there's the interactions between it. There's no mini games in the game. There's no type of racing. There's no type of reason to buy a new Sparrow. What's the point? Just to get there 30 seconds earlier than your friends. You still gotta wait for your friends to finish that freaking race, or not race, but that whole level to get to you. It's just the obvious that they took out just so they can make it user friendly, I guess you could say, or casual friendly. Now, what I want number what I'm trying to say in number 2 is that I just want to be able to do stuff and besides just shoot at enemies all fucking day. It just feels like a bore, and I feel like they can easily make it better, and it can have a much better experience if they were to add a much better social interaction and social hubs to allow players to have a better experience with the game. So that's about it for number 2. Let's get into number 1, which is going to be kind of funny but kind of obvious to most of you guys. So let's do it. So this video is rather long and it's taking a very long time to do, but let's get into number 1, the final one that I feel that they should easily do. If they don't do none of the ones I mentioned, they have to at least do this, and that is make more classes, make more races, and make them actually worth something, because I feel there is no real difference besides specials in each class. Now we have the Titan, the Warlock, and the Hunter. Each one has a subclass of 2, which I heard they're going to put in a third for each one in the upcoming DLC or expansion packs, they like to call it, quote unquote, for Destiny. And I feel that they could easily make this a much better game if they were to have a meaningful race or whatever. Like, what is the point of just as creating a human and him not being able to do nothing special outside of just doing different dances? I want to feel an actual difference in gameplay when I pick an Exo Titan. I want to feel like I'm a Juggernaut. Meanwhile, a human Titan can actually still be a Juggernaut, but he has to kind of lay off because I'm more robotic than him, or I can just take more hits than him. I want to feel like I'm an actual tank and not on the same level as a awoken Titan or a Warlock. I want to feel that I'm really the strong dude. I don't want to see a Warlock beating the shit out of everything. In my personal opinion, I feel like the Warlocks are the strongest class in the whole game, and I feel like that's because there's a lack of individuality in these 3 classes. They're all the same besides specials, and there's just no real difference. I want to be able to be like, yes, I can do that. I want to have more classes so it can be more kind of variety between different people. I don't want to see another Titan all the damn time. I don't want to see another Warlock all the damn time. I want to be like, yes, I'm like the only Titan in this whole group or something, so I can do this something they can't. Like, why can't there be more different classes? I feel like they just squeezed everything together, like Rogue, Thief, and Hunter all into just that one Hunter class. Spellbinder, Healer, and etc. into the Warlock class. Support, Knight, Warrior, all into the Titan class. I just feel like they kind of got lazy and there's no real change in the characters. They kind of stripped everything away and they made it bare bones. Now, what I hope Destiny 2 really improves is the fact that we're introduced to a brand new race of characters that can really change the game and change the gameplay style. I feel like Exo should be able to do things humans and the Woken can't, since they're still flesh and bone, while Exo's not. He can actually jump off a building or something and survive or take less damage than what a human would actually take. Or a human should be able to do certain things like run through a bioscan or something and be able to actually get through a certain part of the game. Not saying it should be locked off to Exos or Awoken, but a human should have a different advantage compared to the Titan or Awoken. Nah, I said Titan. I meant Awoken Exo. Now, overall, I feel Destiny can become a very amazing game if they just put aside their greed and made a game that they actually wanted to make and not something that the Activision told them to make. And after all this ranting and all this wish listing, I hope at least a few of these come true. I know other players have actually said the same thing about what I just said, and hopefully our voices are actually heard in this whole thing about Destiny. And overall, I just hope Destiny becomes what it's supposed to become and becomes a legend and not another Call of Duty clone that's mixed with Halo. Truthfully, that's just how I'm seeing it right now. So thanks for watching as always, guys. Please rate and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. And make sure you guys check out B Dublin's channel. He's the one who inspired me to do this video, because I feel like I would have never made this video if he never started talking out loud about what's wrong with Destiny. So as always, guys, peace, have fun, and stay safe.